You'd think a game about a radioactive dinosaur that spends half its time destroying cities for fun and the other half duking it out with robot versions of itself would be a surefire good time, right? Sadly, Bandai Namco's latest attempt to capture that kaiju magic is little more than some fan-pleasing movie references heaped atop a pile of boring gameplay. The first thing you probably noticed is that Godzilla doesn't look like a current generation game. While the kaiju character models are respectable, the bland cityscapes would have been considered lackluster even on last-gen hardware.
Fourth squad, begin your assault.
Aside from a few unique structures that mark the difference between one nondescript urban location and the next, each destructible city block looks as though it's been copied and pasted to fill out extra space. Godzilla also boasts what can charitably be called an unorthodox control scheme. After the advent of thumbsticks, I never thought I'd be using two separate buttons to turn a monster to the left or to the right, but here we are. Between that and the painfully slow pace at which Godzilla lumbers through the streets, it's difficult to keep a destruction combo going, and battling other monsters is no better. Practically every fight becomes a matter of spamming the same 5 moves and hoping you hit your opponent before they hit you. I wasn't expecting Godzilla to be nimble, but I'm supposed to be controlling the king of the monsters, not a sweaty teamster in a rubber suit. If there's one thing Godzilla gets right, it's that it absolutely nails the half-serious spirit of classic Japanese monster movies. Dialogue manages to be both cringeworthy and sincere.
We discovered G-energy because of him, but it turns out the stuff is his favorite meal.
And there are tons of extras and unlockables that Godzilla fans will love. The real downfall of Godzilla is how repetitive it is. To unlock the final stage, for example, you'll have to find collectibles in each area, which you can only access by playing through the entire branching campaign multiple times. It's short, so that may not sound like a big deal, but because gameplay is so monotonous, getting through each stage becomes more of an endurance test than anything else. Even though there are several different game modes designed to change things up, like its multiplayer versus mode or the time challenges, they all boil down to the same clunky mechanics. Apart from its massive roster of kaiju and an encyclopedia of monsters, Godzilla's poor graphics, uncomfortable controls, and overly repetitive gameplay make this one of the worst renditions of the King of Kaiju since he fought Matthew Broderick at Madison Square Garden back in '97. For more on Godzilla, stick with IGN.